We'll continue this morning with the Crossville Lions. Coach Josh Taylor in his first season as head football coach for the Crossville Lions, coming from Springville, I think, as an assistant. Coach, would you either introduce the players, let them introduce themselves, and give us your preseason comments about the Lions?
Absolutely. Go ahead, guys.
My name is Javier Juan. I'm a linebacker and a tight end and a punter.
I'm Kobe Leslie. I play tailback and safety. I'm Dylan Clark, and I play tight end and linebacker.
I'm Dakota Causey. I play fullback and middle linebacker.
I'm Christopher Nix. I play tight end and defensive end.
I'll start by saying thank you so much to Allen and WQSB for allowing us to be here today. This team is a team that defies expectations, specifically outside expectations. There was a lot of negatives surrounding this program in the spring, and I'll kind of go through that list. Most folks believe we were not going to be able to field a team, and as you can see, we are. They said we wouldn't be able to have enough players to do a successful spring. We had 50 varsity players come out for spring training. We had enough to do 2 teams against each other in a spring inter-squad scrimmage with enough players to really do 2 sets for each team. We wouldn't be able to develop a quarterback or throw the football. We've been able to establish 2 quarterbacks, 9th grader Jaden Heflin and junior Caleb Causey. They've been working real hard, getting some good development, and we're excited about that. I was told we wouldn't be able to get our Hispanic student population out, and over 70% of the team actually is Hispanic student athletes. Also told we wouldn't be able to get kids coming to workouts. We've consistently had 30 to 35 kids showing up for workouts, so the majority of the team. We wouldn't be able to do 7v7 because the team hadn't passed the ball in 2 years. We've been playing. We played Southeastern and Asbury, had a great time, won a couple games, and got a lot of confidence. Saying that the Booster Club wasn't going to be there. I got a great support from the Booster Club, great officers. I got great parents. You couldn't ask for better people. And the last thing on our list is to win football games. Everybody expects us to go 0-10, and I can promise you this, we're going to play and be competitive in every single game that we play. Some other things that are really important to me is Dakota Causey here, he suffered injury during spring in which he had broken his tibia and fibula. And with an injury like that, it's hard to come back from, and he's defied all odds as well. He's going to be ready by our first game, which is a testament to him because he's been doing the physical therapy and doing all the things necessary to come back to football, and that just kind of shows you the type of kids we have. Another point that I'd like to make is I lost my older brother July 3rd. To multiple organ failure, and it hit my family really hard. He was my mentor throughout my life. He was the person that got me interested in playing football, and so the team has honored him and my family. We'll be wearing stickers on the back of our helmets, and this was the coaches and players' idea. It was my brother's initials, CR, Chris Riddle. He was number 75 when he played at Pleasant Grove back in the 90s, so it's been real special. We have a great, great community. I could not ask for a better team. I could not ask for better coaches. And speaking of coaches, we have a full staff. On the defensive side, Chuck Dutton's going to be our defensive coordinator. Riley Edwards is going to be our defensive line coach. Mark Patterson, who just joined us, he'll be our defensive backs coach. On the offensive side, Kent Colvin will be our offensive coordinator and working with the skill players. And then, of course, I'll be working with the offensive line. We also have 2 middle school coaches with Blake Wilkes, who's a Crossville native. He'll be the middle school head coach. And also, we just added Seth Phillips, who will be working with the line for the middle school.
Well, Coach Taylor, that sounds like, the biggest thing it seems like with the Crossville football program has been stability. And these kids can't find anybody to trust. It sounds like, with the way you're talking, that you're going to be good for this football program. Sounds like you're starting to unite this football team, which spills over into the community. because you've got to have interest. Playing at a 5A level you guys play at, it's tough, and, it definitely has been, but the success has not been there. Do you feel like you're beginning to lay that foundation and these kids are going to believe in you? Because that's what it takes.
They have met me halfway. I came in and I told them things are going to be different. Just like Coach Davis had talked about, it's all about relationships. If you don't build relationships with players, they're not going to trust you. If they don't trust you, they're not going to play, or they're not going to play to the potential that they can. So it's all about building those relationships, and I think we've done a really good job this summer in team building exercises, getting together with things outside of football, and I really think it's brought all of us, including our community, back together.
Coach, could you talk about your philosophy on offense and defense, the changes that we may see in this year's Lions team?
Absolutely. Coach Darnell had a single wing approach, and it worked pretty well. We did graduate 16 seniors, so the majority of those players were, in fact, that single wing offense. We returned 2 starters, Colby Leslie and Dakota Causey, and that's it. So we're able to redevelop and fundamentally change everything. We're going to be traditionally wing T based because that's where I come from. And on defense, we're going to keep being multiple out of a 3-4.
Question for the players, and I'd like all of you to answer this question. Phil alluded to the fact that the last 4 or 5 years there's been transition in the coaching staff at Crossville. Coach Taylor comes in, brand new coach. What do you see as a difference between what was there before and what Coach Taylor's brought in?
I just feel like we're stronger as a unit. The team is really holding together better. There's better relationships. We all kind of everybody gets along a lot better than when it was basically playing with the coaches.
Me and Colby, we've went through 3 total head coach changes throughout our whole high school career. It's been tough because we don't have any stability. As y'all said, there's no stability. But me and Colby's had to play with each other. Like, we can't play for the coaches. We have to play for each other. Because if you don't play for each other, then there's really no point in playing. And that's what I'm trying to get through this team's head. And all of us are as a team, we're team. That's all we're going to do. We're going to be a team, play together. We've never really had any leadership, and I feel like the leadership roles have really, really kicked in this year. I mean, we went from having me guys last year. It was all me guys. They played for themselves, and they never really played for the team. This year, everybody's playing for each other. There's a lot of leaders on our team, and I feel like there's going to be a really good change for the Crossville Lions.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask, just from your opening statements, what does this mean to you as a leader of young men, as a head coach, trying to, as a lot of questions have previously been asked, trying to turn the Crossville program around? It just seems like it means a ton for you.
Absolutely. I'm passionate about football, but I'm also passionate about building relationships. I'm able to really convert a lot of the things I learned in the Army and the Army Reserves over to the side of being a leader of young men. I've had the opportunity to be a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army for over 10 years, and it's been a blessing because I've been able to translate those skills into my civilian life, and I can tell you it works. These kids are really, I'd take them to war with me any day. I cannot ask for a better group of men because they have been able to trust me. Trust is such a hard thing to build when you first come into a program, a business, even a military unit. And I'm just thankful that these guys have met me that halfway, and we have really took off since then.
This one is for the players, and I'd like them all to answer if they can. We've already kind of alluded to it. Things have been a little hard on Crossville the last 5 or 6 years, all the coaching turnovers. You mentioned 3 in your career as a player. But what do you expect of yourselves this year, not just under a new coach, but as leaders of this football team? What do you expect of yourselves, and how do you make those expectations transition to your teammates?
I expect the best for all of us. I expect us to stick together as a unit, not break apart like we have the years before, because we've started off strong and then just fell apart. It's happened nearly every year since we started losing coaches. And I hope that that doesn't happen this year and we can stay together as a unit through the entire year.
Crossville Lions, we've always been really well throughout our career. Like, we've done good. It's just we would always shoot ourselves in the foot. We'd be pushing the ball, driving the ball down the field, driving it. We'd almost score, shoot ourselves in the foot. We'd be back 20 yards on a penalty, stupid penalty. It'd be nothing. And then one person would get mad at another, and it would just trickle down to the whole team, and then the whole team would get down. And that's been our problem, but I really feel like that won't be a problem this year. We got a lot of trust in each other. Like I said, the leadership is just outstanding. Like, through my high school career, I've not seen Crossville like this with leadership. It's always been me, guys. This guy, he's the best. No, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. No. This year, we're all equal. Like, we all see each other equally. We're going to put the best 11 out there, but we got just the amount of skill right behind us to back us up.
You good? All right.
Coach Taylor, one question for you. There has to be something out there. What attracted you to this job?
To be honest with you, Mr. Peppers at Crossville, I don't think that there's a better administrator in the state of Alabama. Having the conversation with him, seeing his vision for this team and for our school for the future. I mean, 1-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. To be honest with you, that got me really excited. I was already interested in the job when I interviewed, but getting to talk to him, our vision and our goals aligned, and it's just been a great situation. I don't think that there's a better administrator in this state, and I mean that heartfully.
Coach, I know you're excited. This is your first head coaching job coming to Crossville. Talk about your background because you're from out of the area. Not a lot of folks know you. You were from, I believe, Springville. You were coaching in Springville. Could you give us a little bit of your football background?
Absolutely. So I was an offensive lineman, defensive lineman in high school. And so when I got out of high school, went to college. Out of college, I went ahead and joined the military. And when I got out of my active duty contract, I went to Auburn Middle School. That was the first place that I worked, and I was under Coach Carter and then Coach Weingarten as a middle school offensive line coach. And I loved it. I felt like this was going to be my path. We ended up, after my tour of duty in the Middle East in 2014, my wife and I decided to move to Florida for a little while. We went to Pace High School, in which I got a little bit of OC experience and continued with the offensive line there. Then I got a call really close back to home, Rimlamp, Alabama, with Southeastern. Their coach, Coach Kevin Bird, met me in Evergreen, Alabama, to have a nice little interview. And I felt like that was the right move. I went up there and I was the offensive coordinator there, and I enjoyed it so much. We had great kids there. And then home came calling, so I went back to Springville, helped with run game coordination and offensive line, and I loved it. I felt like I learned a lot from each coach that I've been under, and it's really helped prepare me for this situation that we're here.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for being here at Media Day today. I believe you open on the road at New Hope on the 20th.
We've changed that to the 21st. We're going to play on Saturday.
You're going to play on Saturday night then?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck to the Lions this season.
Go Lions.